Good morning, sacred space.
Good morning.
One more time. Good morning, sacred space.
Good morning.
See, now the universe can hear you. So thank you for being here. If you're new here for the first time, I'm Reverend Patricia Roller, and welcome to Sacred Space. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath as we begin to open sacred space within ourselves. Let our hearts be really, really, really open this morning. And all of our teachers, all of the guides and the guardians and the teachers of the universe surround us this morning. And we ask that Spirit hold sacred space and hold all those in the universe in kindness and love and wisdom. And we ask that come into our hearts this morning and inform us. Inform us in our process of becoming. And so it is. Amen. As you get your gift ready for sacred space, we give our giving on the front side here like we do everything else. And if you, what we ask at Sacred Space, if you're new, if you have been here before, you've heard this, but if you don't feel called to give monetarily, energy is very important to us. So peace, love, joy, whatever that is, please don't let the basket pass you by. You have something beautiful to give this community, so please. I also forgot to mention that for those of you who know Beth, that she's Celine's daughter, she's Celine Zeisler, she's in the hospital, so and she's had some tummy issues and things, so she'll be there a couple more days. She's in room at Salem Hospital in room 5124. If you'd like to go visit her, I'll be going to visit her tomorrow, so she's going to be okay, but so all right, so I'll ask that as you take your gift between your hands, just this morning we'll just see the abundance and the abundance of health for Beth and the abundance of support for Celine and Curtis as they help their daughter through this. And we know that there are many experiences in the universe. We don't know why they happen, but we just know that all is well, and so it is. Amen. So I have some announcements this morning. Thank you, Terry, for giving me always a special, lovely message. She puts a little message at the top of the announcements, and it's a lovely thing to read, so I appreciate that. So Monday, tomorrow at 6:30 is Reverend Robin's workshop, Psychic Awareness. I think she will allow people in for this last time, but then the class will be closed. So, and I don't have all the particulars, but there is a flyer on the board about that. So on Tuesday at 3 p.m. and Thursday at 10 a.m. is Gentle Yoga with Daya Devi and Joanne. So if you are interested in that, come and bring your mat. It's $7 if you're just coming, here and there. But if you decide to do it for a month, it's $5 each session. Wednesday service is Wise Soup. We have free soup, and Soul Talk with Jada with Desiree. And I'm not sure who I talked with her last night. She's at a workshop, so, I texted her last night, but I haven't heard yet who the interviewer or interviewee is. Yeah, the person that she's interviewing. There we go. And on Friday, the 27th, is Suzanne Langral's Chakra 101 class. There's a sign-up sheet back there, so if you would like to take that class. And then Saturday at 10 a.m. is drum making with Matt Wilson and Desiree. Did you want to talk about that?
As far as sign-ups, the last day for me is tomorrow.
And also, you have drums already made for sale, so if you are looking for a drum, please see Matt. So I'm going to be talking today about just the things that Donna Lou has been talking about, right? Chasing spiritual highs. What is chasing spiritual highs? As we're going along and experiencing life, and why do we come to places like this? Partly to be in community, right? Partly to get, what? Some more understanding. What? Yes. Right. But, somehow we're all kind of perhaps chasing after some sort of truth. And, the invitation is to stop and to realize that the truth isn't out here. It's in here. I'm going to read from a part of a book called Beyond Text, Beyond Scriptures. So the truth exists in human beings in every walk of life. It belongs to everybody, no matter what nationality or language they speak, literate or illiterate. The truth is here all the time as long as man exists. Whether there is anyone to know it or not, it is there. But the Buddha was the first person, or even the Buddha hadn't become enlightened. Even if the Buddha hadn't become enlightened, he would still be there. But the Buddha was the first person to discover it. It is the law of nature. It is the state of being, which is natural. Nirvana is in every moment of our daily lives, but we don't know, and we don't understand that. So we forget that and we look for it outside of ourselves. If we really want it in this lifetime and seek for it seriously, we will get it. And finally, if all of us here could see our mind, our lives at this moment, we would see that they are normal, neutral states. That is nirvana. Therefore, nirvana is provable and touchable. The Buddha taught that the truth is something that really exists. He saw that life has no illusion, no suffering. Illusion and suffering are not real. They are transient. Wow. That's amazing, don't you think? It's amazing to think that the neutral states are nirvana. And what exactly are the neutral states, right? It's not extreme happiness. It's not the sadness. Those are transitory experiences. That's what those are. But then the in-between, where you are not attached to either needing to feel joy or suffering, that's nirvana. That's the truth. That's the homeostasis of our spirituality, of our divine selves. Everything else is an experience. And we can judge that experience. We can go after some of those experiences. We can avoid other experiences. But what do we know? We're going to get them all, aren't we? We're going to get them all. We'll get the experiences that make us happy and ecstatic. We're going to get the experiences that bring us to our knees. We're going to get them all. Because that's what happens on the physical plane. We're here to experience. What does that feel like? We don't know why certain things happen. I sure don't know why things have happened in my life. I still don't know why some of the things have happened. But as I allow myself to rest, truly rest in the experience without trying to fix it, without trying to fight it, without trying to grasp onto it, I just notice, And every time that this happens, whether it's something really big and hard in my life, I think, as Larry Dillenbeck says, everything that begins completes itself. And that's with the joy stuff too, right? I was thinking this last weekend, Bruce and I went to the coast and had some time alone that, I don't know when the last time is that we had time alone. And I caught myself thinking, oh God, I wish that we had a whole week. Oh my goodness, it's Sunday and we need to go back. Sunday afternoon and we need to go back. I thought, what am I doing? But there were plenty of times in between that I was so present. I was able to look at his face that I have seen for 30 years and go, wow, I need to take more time to look at that face. I've seen it mature, just like mine has matured over all these years. And the pleasure that brought me, because I have been there through every step of that maturity, and so has he. And just being present with that, and the gratitude of that was a nirvana moment. And I didn't need to be attached with, I wonder how long Bruce will be on the planet. I wonder how long I will be on the planet. I didn't go there. Sometimes I go there because he's like my best friend. He is my best friend, right? Sometimes I go there, but that day I didn't go there. And, 30 years. When you've been married that long, you know that it's not all roses. It's not. But it's worth it. That's what it is. It's worth it. So what I'm talking about here is this truth, this nirvana, this truth that we're trying to discover, without chasing the spiritual highs. So what is the truth? The truth is love. There's only one truth in the universe, and that's love. But here's the key. How do we show up as love? We have to have a willingness, right? There has to be a willingness within ourselves to show up as love. And here's the other thing. Love has no agenda. There's no agenda in love, is there? Nope. So it doesn't matter what is showing up in our world, who is showing up in our world. If we can stay in the place of love without an agenda, if you need things to be a certain way, you need people to be a certain way, you can count on it that that's not going to happen, right? At least not all the time. So you are completely at choice to decide what you want to do with that, right? Because here's the one thing that we all know is you can't change anyone else. Anybody disagree with that? No, you might want to change someone else, right? You can't. You can't change anything else. Not just people, but anything else. You can only change yourself. You can change your response to what's happening. So, for example, we can't change war in the world because war happens. What we can do is be peace at every moment. You can't say, well, you can say it, but, the thing is to look out there and go, there shouldn't be war, and you have a war going on in here, right? Take care of the war at home. As within, so without. You take care of it here, it happens out here. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens as hearts open, and we each have a personal responsibility and invitation to be that person in every moment in the world that opens another person's heart, that understands when you don't want to understand, that allows when you don't want to allow, that forgives when you don't want to forgive. There are times when I have not wanted to forgive. Can you imagine that? I was like, no, I don't want to forgive. I don't want to do that right now. And you know what? The next moment, you know who I forgive? Yeah, I forgive myself. And then the forgiving begins. I talked about gossip earlier, right? But when we judge ourselves, I was talking to, it might have been Rebecca the other day, and I think she brought this up, that, when we have the self-talk, that's our inner gossip. I was like, wow. Because sometimes we have a whole lot of people saying a whole lot of things in there. It's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing. So you stop it here, and you start it here, right? The things that are not in balance, you work on here. The things that you want to see, more balance in your life, more love, you work on here first. As within, so without. As above, so below. Right? It's a law. It's a law of nature. On Wednesday night, we were talking about this with Magical Egypt, and the Egyptians knew this. As above, so below. Even the above has to go by this law. It looks different, right? Because when you're not in physical form, it's a different experience. Here's the cool thing that you may not have thought about physical form. When you are working in physical form, things slow down, right? The vibration slows down so the spirit can be in the body. And sometimes that's hard because we're light beings, so it's harder for that to happen. But the other thing that does happen on the physical level is whatever it is that your soul needs to experience happens in a radical way. It happens much more quickly on this plane than it would if you were trying to do that on an ethereal plane. Right? So picture this with me, if you will. So say my soul thing is, one of my soul things is patience this lifetime. And so here I am on the other side, and I'm like, okay, so one of the things I've identified in my incarnations, now this is my belief system, does not have to be yours, I believe in reincarnation, is like that I need to learn some patience. And so I'm on the ethereal plane, and what am I surrounded by? A bunch of you know? And like, how can you be impatient with that, right? How can you learn about impatience and patience when you're all, you know, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, yeah, but I still have some work to do. Yeah, you are eternal. We could get this done, right? So, you know, I decide, hey, that's great, but I'm going to pop into the third dimension. I'm going to do this. And so, you know, my guide says, okay, now you have done this before. And every time you come back, you have amnesia on this side of the veil. You forget what it was like. So I'm just here now. I'm going to play the you-know-what advocate here, and I'm just going to say to you, you know, is this something you really want to do? Yes. Okay, but I have to ask you at least 3 times because, you know, when you get down there, you are such a complainer. Right? And then I can't get to you, so then you think you're alone, and you whine. Hey, I'm not judging you because we don't do that here. But, you know, on the other side of the veil.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that it's asking me on the other side just like it keeps asking me on this side?
Right.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Exactly. We are given that deep invitation, that deep question on both sides of the veil. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Hey, I don't always like it, but I'm sure. Because it's, you know, for me personally, it's not, here's the thing I hear. I don't want to come back and do this all over again, right? Well, I'm going to see you next lifetime. You know I am. Or I'm going to see you somewhere. You might not be doing this one, but we're eternal. We got a lot of stuff. Here's the thing. Here's another framework for you. It's an invitation for you to think about this differently. You know, it's not a lesson. You're not learning a lesson. You didn't do anything wrong, okay? You're not here serving a sentence, and then when you get it, you're free. It's not like that. You're the divinity. Divinity is inquisitive. The divinity is a full meal deal. Divinity wants to know, hey, okay, so we have this unconditional love, but when something shows up as suffering, what does unconditional love look like in the midst of suffering? Oh. And when it's not there, what does that look like? Oh, okay, right? You know, we are all here as ambassadors from the Most High, doing our work, which is we're being the great explorers. We're the great explorers. We're not serving time. It's not like that. We're in this beautiful play that we have chosen to come and play a part. And sometimes when people show up as teachers for us, right, they are very convincing. They are very convincing. I have some I'm going to meet on the other side, and I'm going to go, you were good. You almost cracked because you loved me so much and you almost remembered, but you were good. Thank you. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for the invitation in the midst of that pain that I could love you and myself. Thank you. Well done. Well done. When painful things happen, right? And we decide to get into that, we're immediately in the story. Have you noticed that? We're immediately in that story, because when joyful things happen, we're like Donna Lou, levitating, right? And we're all like, I love you. I love you. That's what we're like. And then something painful happens, we're like, done, in my story. There's nothing wrong with that. The invitation is that both are healing. Both are experiences of healing. You see, when we judge something that looks painful as like a process rather than an invitation, we get stuck in having to do our process. For those of you who do process work, I'm not suggesting that that's not helpful. I'm saying something else here. And what I'm saying is that, there's only one thing to remember, is that you are loved. You are lovable, and you are loving. In any given moment, you have a wonderful choice to remember, I am loved, I am lovable, and I'm loving. Loved, lovable, and loving is not lay down and step on me, right? Turning the other cheek, what Jesus was talking about, right? You know what the map across is for that in this time? It's called setting boundaries. Turning the other cheek is called setting loving boundaries. Jesus is not talking about getting all beat up and being a martyr. Jesus is saying, look, you might get hit with whatever. But as you do, remember, you have another choice. The other cheek is to set the boundary and say, nope, I'm not going to make that choice. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make anything or anybody wrong. But I am going to stay in my love, and this is how I can stay in my love, is to set that boundary. We are energy beings. There has been so much. I know there's been solar flares going on, and there's been things moving in the heavens, right? There's been so much going on. But part of that is just understanding that you are an energetic being. So as things are happening, emotions, activities, everything, it goes through your physical or corporeal body. And it reaches you at levels you don't understand. It's not just your heart, it's just not your head, it's not just your organs. It's your spiritual body, your ethereal body as well. You have more than just one body. You have layers, and as it comes in, it comes in, it comes in, and then it hits your physical body. This is the same with illness, by the way. As things are happening in the universe, are happening for you on a personal level, it hits your bodies first. And then, if it can't be resolved in the outer bodies, it goes into the physical body. That's just, that's just the way it happens. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't notice it out here, and you haven't set your boundaries out here, if it gets into your physical body, hey, you're divine. You don't have to believe everything you think you're experiencing. Did you get that? You do not have to believe everything you think you're experiencing, including physical pain, including emotional pain. Now here's the thing, including joy. Don't get trapped. Don't get sucked in by the other side of that and become, a spiritual addict, if you like. Don't chase that emotional high. Either spectrum, don't chase it. Stay centered, stay balanced, stay in love. Love is unconditional. Love doesn't have judgment. Love just notices and accepts. I'm getting all biblical today, so you're going to just bear with me, I know. But think about, for those of you who know the story of the prodigal son. Hey, this is a crazy story. It's a crazy story. Son goes out. He's like, I'm not going to stay home. I want to go out and experience the world. And the father's like, hey, okay, please stay home. So the son goes out, but there's another, the good son, who stays home, right? The good son who does everything and stays home. So what do you think? The other son goes out. He has some experiences. He realizes, it's time to go home. It's not working so well for me. He comes home, and the father says, hey, throw a big feast. Welcomes with open arms. Everything I have is yours. And the other son that stayed home is like, what? I stayed here. I did my part. I kept the home fires burning. And that one there went out, and now he gets celebrated. What is wrong with this story? What do you think happened there? I'll give you my take on it. It's a metaphysical take, maybe a little different than you've heard elsewhere. My take on it is this. They're the same son. They're the two sides of ourselves. The one that wants to stay and wants to be noticed. The one that, is full of love, but also is full of a lot of ego, expects the world, expects people to appear and show up because they did such and such. The other side is the other son, who's going to go out, arms wide open, and have these incredible experiences, some that might bring you to your knees. And then, the son decides it's time to return to the oneness. And the oneness says, there's absolutely no judgment. Everyone is important. Everyone is celebrated. Every experience you have is absolutely incredibly important. But if you expect people and things to show up because you think you've done your part, at that moment you have not done your part. Because you do your part by letting go. You do your part by releasing expectation. You do your part by releasing judgment. You do your part by staying in love. Things may appear uneven in the world. They're not. They're all the possibilities of the universe happening at once. And you are one of them. And you are the most important. And I'm the most important. How can we all be the most important? Because there is only love. I don't need you to be any other way than what you are. Do you believe that? I don't. I don't need anything to be other than what it is. I don't. It's an experience that we've all signed on for. It's an incredible, incredible, incredible opportunity to be in the physical form. True spiritual knowing comes from the willingness to practice what is most difficult in each moment and see it for what it is. It's a gift to our soul. You are being gifted. I am being gifted every second of our lives. Now, we may go through some things and we may choose to have a different experience. We may be healing from something, right? That's also part of it. But it doesn't make what happened over here wrong. You see what I'm saying? Things are not wrong. Do you know what I'm going to say? Things are not right. You cannot get this wrong and you cannot get this right. It's not like that. And once you can let go of that, you can not well, maybe automatically, but not always. You can let go of anger. You can let go of judgment. You can let go of all those things. However, having said that, those things are not wrong. Is that incredible? Did I just say that up here? Those things are an experience. They're not helpful when you start making yourself wrong for having them. You don't get brownie points or angel wings because you are the most loving person in the universe. Jesus, Buddha, is not more important than you are. Nobody's more important than you are. That's powerful knowing. It's powerful. Let's take a nice deep breath. We're going to take a moment and just take another nice deep breath. I'd like to do a little bit longer meditation this morning. So we'll have Rebecca and the music team come up and start to lead us. And for those of you who are new here, you are invited to just close your eyes. And as we segue out of the music, I'll lead us into a guided meditation. As you keep taking, that's right, nice deep breaths, I'm going to invite you into some beautiful healing today. I'm going to ask you to imagine that you are laying down on the most comfortable bed you've ever laid down on. Maybe it's soft like a feather bed. And as you lay down, as you begin to relax, you feel yourself going deeper and deeper into that beautiful feather bed, letting all of your muscles relax. Any tension that you've had for the week, just letting that go. You are so safe. You are so beautiful. You are so relaxed. And with the next nice deep breath, that's right, just go ahead and relax even more. Now in this very, very deep, beautiful place of relaxation, I'd like you to go beyond your five senses and imagine whatever the other side looks like for you, that you are lying on this most beautiful bed, and you notice that you are in this amazing room that looks like a forest, and you can hear the birds, you can feel the breeze, and you just allow that to flow over you. And then you begin to notice a presence around you. And you notice this presence all around your bed. And as you go beyond your five senses, you start to see that there are light beings all around this bed. And they are sending you energy. They're cleaning your aura. They're giving you love. And you are in the presence of the divine with these beautiful beings. They said, "Oh, we love you so much. Just let go. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you. We're here to help. We're just going to fill you up with the most incredible energy, so when you go back to the earth plane, you will be reinvigorated, and you'll be able to share that beautiful energy with others." Just allow yourself to float. Float in these incredible arms of love, who are healing your body, who are healing your mind, healing your emotions. Let them touch you on a deep level. Let them love you so that you can remember to love yourself, so you can remember to love others. Oh, and notice your beautiful crystalline body. All the colors of the universe are reflected in your body. You are the light. Oh my God, you are the light. We are all the light. We are all the light. And as they give you one last touch, they say, remember, in your deepest, darkest hour, remember who you are and how important you are. And you can just allow yourself to float back gently, gently down on the bed, feeling your body starting to come back into the room. That's right. Back into your body, feeling the chair underneath you. And when you're ready, taking a nice deep breath and coming fully back in to yourself and opening your eyes. Thank you for going on the journey with me. Thank you so much. Right, now, this is what we're going to do. This is the blessing. Love yourself this week. 1, God, I love myself. For the people who are new, oh my God, I love myself. And we do it with a lot of feeling. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, I love myself. I love you. Have a blessed week. Thank you.